Well, it is time now to know what's on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers, and joining me is political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode and public affairs analyst Sijibomi Adebiyi-Benet. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning.
All right, let's head straight to the papers now, and I begin with the Punch. No work, no pay directive. Federal government battles NARD, that's National Association of Resident Doctors, opens attendance registers. Resident doctors adamant. Resume first or forget further negotiations. Ministry orders, insists on sanctions for doctors. You can't bully doctors you haven't paid with no work, no pay threat. NARD lambasts federal government. All right, let's move to the front page of the Daily Trust now. Federal government postpones COVID-19 vaccination as doubts donated doses. Experts worried over reluctance to provide key documents. There is no problem with the vaccine, NAFDAC. Right, to the front page of this Nigerian newspaper. As battle for 2023 intensifies, cracks widen. APC-PDP set to implode as feuding parties dig deeper. Party chieftains explore options of new platforms. Mixed reactions over IBB age limit prescription. You find details of the story on the pages of this Nigeria newspaper. To the Daily Sun now, seconders knows fate. Tomorrow, PDP governors, elders meet to parley with BOT orders. Details of the story on the pages of the Daily Sun. To the Nigerian Tribune, seconders, PDP elders to seal fate. Governors meet today. Our party wobbling disastrously, Bode George. Party chair must go. PDP frontliners speaking. There you find details of the story on the pages of the Tribune newspaper. To the Leadership newspaper now, PDP crisis, battleground shifts to National Assembly as Reps caucus demands second sack. As Senate caucus distances self from move. 11 governors 4-2 against current National Working Committee meet today. His continued stay will spell doom for party excuse me, in 2023. To the Daily Times now, the crack in IPOB over sit-at-home order. Directive kicks off today as planned. Spokesperson. Details of the story on the pages of the Daily Times. We move to the First News newspaper now. I am a saint compared to Buhari, IBB boasts. As ex-military ruler comes under attack for justifying gender 12 annulment, also speaks on remarrying at 80. Details of that story on the pages of the First News newspaper. To the Blueprint now, Senate on Constitution review, no recommendation for state creation. No recommendation for state creation, says report on 20 state proposed new states. On 20 proposed new states, fake, urges Nigerians to await INEC supervised referendum. Faults and embeds 132 million expenditure on drivers' uniform overseas training. You find all of those details on the pages of the Blueprint. To the Business Day now. Nigeria's telcos record biggest investment decline in 8 years. Nigeria's telcos record biggest investment decline in 8 years. To the national economy, National Economy Board of Economists speak. Investments in mining sector redomination could save Naira from free fall. To the Business AM, analysts see Nigeria's reserves reach $35 billion on oil price rally. And to the Daily Independent, ban on forex sales to BDCs, devaluation imminent as Naira faces stiff pressure. To the News Direct now, SMEs to benefit from AFDB's $500 million fund, Oshibaju. SMEs to benefit from AFDB's $500 million fund, Oshibaju. And to the Guardian newspaper now, consumers bear burden of MDA's failure to pay 100 billion naira electricity. Federal government engages audit firms over alleged inflation of bills. Details on the pages of the Guardian newspaper. And finally, on the front page of the Vanguard, airlines choking on high repair fuel costs. Inadequate maintenance repair, overhaul MRO facilities in Nigeria, stifling growth of domestic airlines. You find all of those details on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper. Gentlemen, let's quickly look at the story on the pages or the front page of the Punch newspaper. I quickly want us to weigh in on this development. Today marks the beginning of the No Work, No Pay directive by the government to the National Association of Resident Doctors who are on strike. And we spoke with the president of the association, who said that the government cannot be issuing threats to them. But this is not the first time government is seemingly punishing them for asking for their rights. And he said this is a conversation they have been having over a decade, what they are demanding. Talk to me, Dr. Dayo Kayode, what you make of the handling of this issue now, seeing that we are in possibly what some call the hit of a pandemic with regards to the Delta variant ravaging the country.
Thank you, Veronica. You see, I think it was here last week, I tagged my submission as the travails of a nation. But on this, I'm going to target the kakistocratic thinking pattern of a nation.
What does that mean?
I wouldn't expect somebody in the realm of our labor minister,
Chris
Ngige, who himself is a medical doctor, to be thinking like a carpenter.
No, we have
because
to be
it is only I said to be like. I'm not saying is. I said to be like. I use that word like. So you have to quote that L-I-K-E.
You said to be. That's
right. Yeah. Like. Because it is only those that do not understand the importance of doctors, especially at this time that Nigeria is passing through. Not only Nigeria, Africans are passing through in times of COVID-19, and then even the Delta variants that is ravaging not only Nigeria but Africa. All right, now these guys are saying, look, we have some unsettled issues, let us settle it. Are they just shouting about this today or yesterday? No, they have been talking about it over a period of time. You will believe that. You will remember that. They just even resumed from a particular strike.
Yes, they said they gave. He said they gave the government 117 days to address the issue. I
was looking at the bars, your news bars, this morning. I think in Nasarawa, 40 people killed again with cholera incidents, and there are a lot of incidences of diseases all over the country that are ravaging the populace, and you are still not listening to those that are going to take care of all this. Is that not kakistocratic thinking?
Oh, that's what you mean by
sure. You as a medical doctor, you should be able to think as a medical doctor. Not to be thinking like somebody who doesn't understand what it means to take good care of the health of the citizen. And who are the people to take good care of the health of the citizen? The doctors. And when they go on strike, as a doctor, you should be able to know the import on anyway, they always go on medical tourism outside. Imagine the president is out of the country.
Okay.
Who knows how many government officials too are outside the country on medical tourism? So tell me, why would they bother about the people? And that's why I kept on telling the people, it is not. These politicians, they are not thinking about the people. They are thinking, look at what is happening in PDP. It is all about how they themselves will control the wealth of the people to their pockets.
To weigh in on this no work, no pay directive by the federal government to resident doctors who are saying they are only demanding for their rights. And government is also saying that a majority of what the doctors are asking for is the state's responsibility to handle.
The arguments are neither here nor there, and for so many times the government of Nigeria has never failed to disappoint, because the only argument the Minister for Health had was the approach or model or sequence of the strike that 2 weeks or 1 week or some days notice were not given
to them.
So under quoting one section of
the labor law.
So, and you can't blame workers because they see, we are all citizens, we see the benefits and the largesse of the political class. And even if you cannot be able to enjoy those largesse, what is due to you, your own right, that you should be able to manage with, should be given to you. And in a situation whereby life is at stake, not only the citizen's life, but your own life. We're in a period of pandemic. COVID has come up with the deadliest strain, which is the Delta strain.
Yeah.
And at the same time, cholera is killing people like chickens and in the north. So all this put together, I think we should have more seriousness from the ruling class. A lot of seriousness, because even if people are not giving the required or requisite notice, this is more about life. There is what is called the carrot and stick approach. Hear them out the same way you've been, using moral suasion and the rest of it. Engage the people. It's about the lives of the citizens. And I still don't understand why MOUs are like rocket science in Nigeria.
Right.
I still don't understand. Because if there was an agreement and you believe that the states are not doing their own bit in that respect, then as a labor minister, there's something you can do.
He should engage the state.
Yes. There's something you can do. Call them to a round table. This is about life. It's not just the life of the citizens. Because when you lose the lives of the people, taking care of the lives of the citizens, then there is all hell will break loose. Who will now? There was a time in the last few months that some countries were even, circumventing their visa and immigration processes just to get medical personnel to their country. So where we are, we have the benefit of the population, even when it is still not with the WHO standard.
Right, yes.
But we're still managing. And you are not even respecting these people enough. Just like every other sector. Education, health, any sector, even security. You can complain about them, about the police, but how much respect, how much consideration are we giving
do the states need
the
labor minister to come to tell them why it is important they need to do the needful? Aren't states supposed to take their responsibility? Isn't that why they are there?
You see, can you divulge the state even from the federal? Because when it comes to the medical balance, the two, both the state and the federal, they are supposed to work hand in hand to ensure safety of the people, because the state operates within a federation.
Absolutely.
And when the federal government is seeing that something is about to affect the safety of lives of people, they should also weigh in.
The federal government gave you a responsibility,
but
right?
then the other
which
time,
you are supposed to take up.
The other time, were they not also going to the federal to go and ask for money? And was federal government not giving them that money? Okay. What did they use that money for? Till today, none of them have been able to say this and this, and it says I've used this money for. So what I'm saying in essence is this: if as regards money, they know that they can work pari passu with the government. They know that this sovereign wealth, whatever, they have to share it with the federal government and all that. So why are they not also working with the two of them, working together to ensure safety of the people? Mine is, if the resident doctors are going on strike, where are they residing? Why do they call them even resident doctors? They are in the states, and the states are within the federation. So they're still under the purview of Minister of Labour. Of course. Now the issue, the way Minister of Labour is now going about it is what we people are saying, look, that's not the way to go about this. How can you be saying they have not given you 15 days notice? Is it now that they have been talking about what you people agreed on? They gave government 117 days. ASU 2 are also warning them now. A lot of unions are warning them, are warning federal government now. It is when the thing has gotten to the end, to the tail of going on strike, they will now be saying you have not given us notice. Why is it, like he said, why is it that each time they sign memorandum of action, memorandum of understanding with unions, you renege? It's not proper. Is it so difficult to go through? While other countries are looking for more doctors, we are looking for how to send them away. We are looking for how to send them away. When those visas were relaxed for doctors the other time, so many of them left. But this one say, look, we are passionate about our country. We want to stay in our country. We owe allegiance to our country. Still, we are treating them as if they are nobody. So what do you expect? At the detriment of your life, of my life, of his life, of people's life. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? But you see the pages of the newspapers now talking about how they are now jostling for positions. Look at the way they are jostling for positions. Is it for you or for me? When the education of their children is abroad, the health for themselves and their there was one that was having a headache the other time. He traveled abroad. So where do we go from here? It is not a kind of a behind the scene. I was saying something to my brother. Look, if I were in UK, I would have gone to that hospital that we have some of these people, some of these officials, and then bring them out. Let's not have that conversation. We people should now rise up to it and say, look, we want responsible. That's my next question, and final question to Sijibomi. What can the people do at this point? Because the whole situation, the people seem to be the grass who are at the receiving end.
Sincerely, with the situation we have found ourselves in Nigeria, it's just like between the devil and the deep blue sea. Right. Because the ruling class are one. Forget about nomenclatures of the different parties. Even before the minister for labor said what he said, an opposition state that she's supposed to be leveraging on the ineptitude of the ruling party had already given order that the resident doctors should resume, or you will sack all of them. Right. So when you look at the mindset of the ruling class, you will see that it is just one and the same. All right. So the only thing the people can do, going back to your question, is to just take them on. That state level, federal level, and how can we do that? Using these organizations. Right. These resident doctors will not back down. Okay. Then other people that are that are addressing the federal government, maybe ASU or ASUP, they shouldn't back down. We don't have time now. We have to leave the conversation here, gentlemen. Political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode, public affairs analyst Sijibomi Adebiyi-Benet. Thank you so much for your time on the paper review this morning. Thank you for having me.